All right, welcome to another video. This is a 79 Corvette I've been working on about a month and a half in. As you can see, the interior is done, but you can see the chrome A-pillar and rear window moldings just stand out like crazy. On a 79, they're supposed to be black, so in this episode, we're gonna make them black. I started taping this, and I realized I'm going through and doing all that when I get all this back there chilling, so I'm going to pull the rear window trim off, and I'm doing it one-handed, so it's not the easiest, but there's little clips in there, currently covered up by all that, and just need to get them over those, just need to get them without obviously breaking it. And let me just tell you, doing it with one hand is not easy, but there's little, this kind of has a, I just lost more leaves. There's a lip on the inside at the top and on the bottom, and then right in the middle here, could grow a tree, or clips on the body. So you got to get this up over them, and you can get these off. So that's what I'm going to do. That way I can clean them, scuff them, paint them, let them dry, and put them back on, and not have to worry about messing up this beautiful red paint. So I'm going to get back to it, and we'll check back in. All right, I had to check back in. Got this off. This bottom piece comes off there. But man, that needs to be cleaned. So I'm actually going to, before I put this back on, I'm going to continue buffing it, cleaning it, and see. Look, there's little holes, whether they're supposed to be there or not, TBD. But here, that's one of the clips. So I'm going to get this off. I just need to come around here. Look at that. That's all just going to sit there and deteriorate stuff. So I can get this off one-handed here. All right. That top one decided it was going to come with it as well. Got the bottom piece. So you got that off. Now this top piece should come off a lot easier. I say that regretfully. There, okay, so obviously I can see where the clips are currently holding it at. Gives me a little bit of an idea where I gotta go to get these off. Obviously I have to put this phone down again. Yeah, I can't. I don't want to snap this back window. I'm gonna get this top one off and I'll show you more, but basically I'm getting up underneath here very carefully and prying it off. It came in from here, from the top here, and I was able to pop it off that way. So you can see progress is being made. Tell right there the way it's bending there. Right there, and there it is. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wipe this down with lacquer thinner. Get it all clean. Look, there's the original black right there. Probably on the other side as well, right? Yep. So originally this was black. Faded, polished off, I'm not sure, but this is Corvette Revival. We're reviving it back to what it should have been. Not restoring it, but reviving it back to what it should have been. This one going a little further, obviously, on a lot of things, but the car is well worth it, considering what's under the hood, the interior quality, and all that. So I'm gonna get this back to how it should be. It'll only take me an hour or two, and I think it's gonna make a big difference for someone who's looking for an authentic-looking 79 Corvette. All right, so we hit it with lacquer thinner. See over there, that came off, and I'm using SEM trim black because it's a nice satin. That's what it would have been back to the factory. So we're gonna go ahead and hit this with this trim black once I get it all shaken up. Gonna lightly build it, dust it. I'm not gonna try and get it all in one coat, and we'll check back in. All right, so you can see I just dusted it on. And this stuff dries pretty quick. The sun's starting to come out, hopefully for the day. So we'll let this dry a little bit. This is allowing the rest of the paint to stick onto it. We're going to get the top done, and then we're going to work on the bottom. The top's got to go on first anyway, and the bottom kind of closes out the rear trim. All right, you can see I'm building up a little bit more. Still able to see the silver through it, which is exactly what I'm looking for at this moment. But it's drying pretty quick. You can actually watch the paint dry when you use this stuff. It's pretty miraculous how quick it dries. And you can see there's a little sheen to it. That's the latest coat that I put on there. So you can see it's misting on there really well. It's got a nice factory finish on it, actually. So the sun's coming out, and I'm going to let that cook that on a little bit more. And once this one's done, we'll move over to the bottom piece. Checking in up here. This is still a little damp, so I'm probably going to back the car out for a little bit today anyway. And at that point, it's going to dry a lot quicker. Luckily, the sun, if it does come out, hits the back of this car perfectly. Hopefully that's the case. If not, I'll pull it out, and we'll let Mother Nature dry it out, just like Mother Nature got it wet. I can officially call the top molding done. I just put the final coat on it. I'm going to let that level out a little bit. I believe this stuff levels pretty decent. If I recall, obviously not perfect, but it's going to level us up. So we're just going to let it be. We're going to let it chill in the sun. We've got one more piece we've got to get prepped. And once this one dries, because I only have one set of sawhorses at the moment, we're going to go ahead and get the next one up here and get that one ready. That one I'm probably going to have to grab because it might fit on here. We'll find out. But this is the top piece, and it looks like it's leveling out pretty good. Finish is pretty even on it. So all in all, I'm pretty excited about how this is going to look. I'm going to let this one dry a little bit more. I would like to work that little ding out. I'm not quite sure I'm going to be able to. I'm going to try very carefully. All right, so as that is drying, I am coming back up here, and I'm going to buff right where I couldn't get close in order to get that perfect before I put it back on. All right, got a little bit of a V formation here. Cleaned all this with lacquer thinner. As I was saying, I cleaned it all with lacquer thinner. I got it on here, angled, and we're going to start hitting it. But it is a challenging piece, given the dimensions of it and how flimsy it is. I'm going to see if I can find a piece of wood or something to put under it. We've started the process again. As you can see, lightly misting it, building it up. The last one was about 6 coats. And this one, we're playing teeter-totter over there, so I'm hoping this wind doesn't throw it on the ground before it dries. And I don't know how I'm going to go about getting this perfect up here. So I'm still looking around trying to figure out what else I can put this thing on as I build this paint up. All right, we are coming up on 3 coats in. Starting to get decent coverage now. Obviously getting those ends, because you're going to see those. But check this out. That is what it's going to look like on the car. It's exactly what it should have looked like all along. But a nice satin factory finish. And once I get that all cleaned out and that one sprayed, this back window we're going to chalk up is done. Minus obviously another good cleaning on the inside and out, but really impressed with the finish. SEM trim black. If you recall on earlier videos, I've got it inside the door here, got it up here, and all around the outside of the engine compartment. Started doing a little cleaning on the intake today and the plug wires, just because I was waiting and trying to pass some time. So engine bay is coming along. That thing looks nasty. That's definitely going to need some paint. I think once I hit that with some paint, it's going to completely change the dynamic of the of this. And then obviously, look, the stock manifolds, I think those are going to have to be black as well. So I'm going to do some engine paint detailing in the spots where it needs it. And we're going to get that looking as good as the blue one did. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and look at the last C3 revival I just wrapped up about a month ago, blue 1978. And that engine bay completely transformed. And I learned a lot on that one, which I have applied to this one. And this is, that's the money right there, SEM trim black. Still have not gotten these off. I'm going to get the back wrapped up, take the T-tops off, and start to figure out these. I'm clearly going to have to take them off to spray them, or else that's going to be a mess down in there. So I'm going to do some investigation, but happy with that. I'm going to go throw another coat on this, and we'll check back in. I can still say it's a little wet. I just literally stopped spraying it, but we're on coat number 4. I feel like 5 is a magic number here. I don't know what that was. It looked like a baby wasp that wanted to come visit me. Luckily, it didn't sting me. All right, so I'm going to let this thing dry. Probably do 1 or 2 more coats. I see a couple spots up here where it's a little light, and that's just going to look like it wasn't freshly done. So I want it to be as even as possible. All right, so this one actually, this one took 6 coats. But it's drying pretty evenly. So I'm going to let it just kind of hang for a minute. See, I got to get that. I got to hit that again because I'm going to see that in the front. And then match the other side. But all right, so we're going to do 1 more passing touch-up coat. And then we'll get this thing drying and ready to go back on. Oh, yeah, that. Ignore the dirty window. But that is satisfying. Wow. All right. Still going to clip the other side on. Goes on pretty easy, too. It goes on easier than it came off. But I got to mess with this a little bit, get that all lined up, and clip back on. But it makes a big difference. All right, we got it outside. So you got that back trim back on. It's starting to look like a 79 again. Obviously, I got to work on up here and down there. Just a little carb cleaning on it, though. It was a little sticky. So that's looking good, and I'm probably going to have to hit this interior 1 more time. These seats, at least, with some dye. So I'm going to come back because I'm not exactly in love with it. I'm going to spend a little more time on it. It looks better on camera than in person. I have no filters on. I don't know why, but it looks better on camera than in person. So in person, I'm not happy with it. On camera, it looks freaking awesome. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to get that 1 more time. But I'm pretty happy with how this rear trim has turned out. Obviously, come on, man. Got the headlights out so I can do a little bit more work on those, polishing wise. You can see I got a lot of engine detail done. Well, a good amount of engine detail done. That's all sprayed clean. That's all sprayed and put back on. I got to clean the back windows. But what we're dealing with is spring showers coming in. It is a little wild they left that chrome at the factory and that black, but I guess, you know, it's last of the 70s. This is a late 79. So it makes a little bit of sense. Now let's get it back inside. All right, so I got to clean the inside of the window. But it looks just so good. That trim blacked out the way that it should be. So I got a little more compounding to do, but I'm going to pull these off and do that. I'm also thinking, should that be black? Do I just black this whole thing out? I know the purists are going to tell me no. I know my whole mission is to revive them. But I feel like, because this thing's got a little cam in there, it's got a little lope. Looks like it should have a little bit of, little fun. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But I'm pretty happy with that SEM trim black. It just looks nice. Happy, happy, happy with it. All right, next up, got these rockers. I have to tape. Should be fairly easy. It's a pretty straight line. I'll just throw the drop cloth up and tape that. So that is next. It's about to start raining out, so I pulled it back inside. So I'm going to take a little water break, and we are going to get those painted. Then all the trim black should be done on this car, except for the front grills, because I am going to be neurotic, and I'm going to paint those as well. So those obviously need to be done. And then I did see a car at the car show where they had some inserts in there. I'm going to see if I can find those. And if they're not bank breakers, might throw some inserts in there. Tighten that up a little bit. Again, we're trying to get this car looking irresistible to a buyer. It's got to look, sound, and be the part. Because this isn't going to be a $7,000 Corvette sale or a $10,000 Corvette sale. I want a lot more out of this one because of what's under the hood. And, I mean, what the car is. It's a cool red on red, fresh interior. It's all the details are going to be done. This, when I get done with it, could be a weekend cruiser, maybe a daily. Maybe a daily. I'm thinking about throwing it on the road for a week or two and hitting up some car shows when I'm done with it. And seeing how it, what the reception is like. Obviously, we'll have a for sale sign on it during that. But this is definitely going to be a fun car. So we're gonna keep going tonight. My wife is at her mom's for a girls' movie night, some new Dracula movie or something. So I got all night long. I am going to get a lot done, and we'll check back in as we get those ready to be sprayed, and we spray them, and that'll be a wrap for this video. And I feel like this is a good one because a lot of people, you know, as they start working on their 78, 79s, this is how they should be. So if you've got a 78 or a 79 and these are chrome, that's wrong. Whether it wore out over the years or someone took some lacquer thinner to it, this is how they came from the factory. And I bet this it would look good with some dark tinted windows. We're not doing that. We're not going to go that far, but I bet it would look good. Making great progress in this car. These roosters are just awake. Got these painted. Got these painted and put back on. Haven't gotten to that yet. We're going to cover that in the next odds and end video. Yep, we're going to go through. There's just a few things left on the list. One of them being those, getting those painted. A little bit of buffing. We're going to get back into the buffing. I feel like I'm going to be buffing this thing until my arms fall off. Been doing a lot of the engine detail, cleaning, some painting. So we're going to finish some of those pieces up. We've got some emblems that need a little bit of love, but I can't do those until I finish some of that buffing around there, so we're going to tackle that. And then the dreaded front suspension. It's higher on this side than the other. This side did have a blowout, so something got either bent or messed up or something. So we're gonna address that. We did get the rear end clunk finished, not in this video. It was a collaborative effort and quite the challenge because it is so tight in there. But thank you to Wes for helping me with that. But as we wrap up this video and the rain starts to fall again, thank you to all the people who watch the videos, whether you subscribe or not, just watching them. It's cool to see as people start to see my content hit their feed. You know, how whether you like it, hate it, doesn't matter. You're going through, you're engaging with it. So thank you for that. If you want to follow along, hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot more to come, more cars. They're all lined up. I can only work on one at a time. But this one was a really cool project, and we probably have another couple weeks to get this one wrapped up and ready to go. So hit that subscribe button. If you tap that like button, that's going to do a lot. Drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching this from. If you're a Corvette person, or if you just like watching old cars come back to life, this one definitely is making tremendous improvements from where it was at. And I love that black window glass trim. And then I didn't do the A-pillars black on the 78. I wish I would have. That looks good, good, good. It's, you know, this is a late 79, so it's just getting into the 80s. Chrome wasn't really out by then, but they were starting to experiment a lot more with body color panels. So it's kind of cool that they did this black trim. I'm sure it was met with rave reviews in the very beginning. All right, we're going to wrap this thing up. Corvette Revival on all the social platforms. I have sucked at updating the others. I'm going to start dropping some content on those. I've got it. I just need to go through and work on getting that stuff out. That engine's coming along, looking good. Love the red spark plug wires. I think those are 8 millimeter. Yeah, 8 millimeters. So they're looking good. We'll do another video, and it'll be coming your way next week.